all I wanna do is ball.
Welcome back to another episode of Ball or Nothing presented to you by AAMI. I am Nick.
I'm Freddie.
Freddie, I'm excited today.
Because today's the day.
Today's is the day. You can tell by the smile on my face, I'm a huge bodybuilding fan for the last 20 years, and we happen to have the 7-time reigning Mr. Olympia.
The best bodybuilder on earth.
On earth right now, Mr. Phil Heath. Welcome to Ball or Nothing. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Some of our viewers are now looking at us and they're like, why have you got a bodybuilding guy on a basketball show, but you've got a basketball background? So can you just walk us through a little bit your basketball history, so to speak?
Yeah, I grew up in Seattle, Washington, ended up playing high school basketball at Rainier Beach High School, where, if anyone knows basketball, they've had various NBA superstars come out of there, from Doug Christie to Jamal Crawford to Nate Robinson, Terrence Williams, you name DeJounte Murray as well.
Nice.
So I played high school ball with Jamal Crawford. We won state in 1998, so we're kind of dating myself here. But but then after that, I went ahead and played 4 years at the University of Denver. It was a Division I program playing in the Sun Belt Conference. And that was my basketball stint.
How would you describe your game? Like, using a modern-day NBA player, how would you describe Phil Heath's game back then?
Back then, I was a combo guard, so a lot of guys would kind of reference Derek Fisher a lot, with me.
All right.
I protect the ball. I played really good defense. I could get to the basket with either hand, but I could elevate. I was able to dunk a basketball at the age of 16, so I could fly if I had to, but I could hit the open jumper, and that was always important. The last thing you want is to be sitting in the corner, someone like in high school, like Jamal Crawford, he'd shake two defenders, and I'd be sitting there on the wing or in the corner. I got to knock this thing down.
Phil, I wanted to ask you, because it's a huge debate going on, and as an Australian, you already know what side I'm on. Who should be the Rookie of the Year, Ben Simmons or Donovan Mitchell?
Okay. All right. I had them both tied.
Come on. You got to give us one.
I'm with it, Phil.
But this is the thing. I don't like judging it based off of just regular season, because if they're both playing in the postseason, we should still judge them. Right? If we're just saying, okay, regular season, I could make a case for either one. But in postseason, it's been clearly Donovan Mitchell. It's clearly I would even say the second coming of Dwayne Wade. The guy is nasty. The guy is nasty. The moves that he's making, the way that he makes his teammates better. Yes, he's more of a scorer than a passer, but he does provide those intangibles to enable him to enable the Utah Jazz to put a team around him. Whereas Ben Simmons, there's still a hole in the game, and we know it's an outside jump shot. So that's a skill set that he just doesn't have. Whereas Donovan Mitchell, what are you going to say? He can't drive. He can't finish with either hand. He can't defend. He can't he's doing all these things.
We're heading into conference finals, so who you got? Let's start out of the West. You got Golden State Warriors, Houston Rockets, man.
I'm going to screw it. Let's just throw it on the table. I'm going with Houston.
Oh,
In
okay.
how many
I'm going
games?
with Houston.
How many
I'm going
games?
with Houston, man. How can you not when you actually have a true floor general in CP3?
Yeah.
He's a real floor general. And if James Harden can get off like how he has, I don't see there being any issue. Capella can't be stopped. They've got unlimited guards just like Golden State but they can actually defend. You have strong three men that can still run the floor, that can still hit outside jump shots. I think the biggest thing is the tempo of the game between the two teams. It's not going to be slow at all. So it's going to be more volume-based. And if it's more volume-based, I'm going with James Harden, man. Like, you're telling me that Steph Curry is going to not get tired if he has to guard this guy over ball screens every set?
What about out of the East? Will LeBron go to his 8th straight NBA Finals?
Now, this is tough because, of course, being a LeBron James fan, I just want to know which team is going to show up. What the problem with the Cavs is quarters 1 and 3. They get to a very slow start in that first quarter. They're down by 10 or whatever. They can't have that with Boston. because Boston actually has something they want to prove. They have a chip on their shoulder. You got guys on that team that are, look, they're missing Kyrie and Hayward. So they already are at a disadvantage. So they're playing for pride. And they've got experience on their side in some positions with Horford, but like not experience with Tatum. So I just want to see how much defense is going to be required on them. Who's going to guard LeBron 40 minutes out of this game? Yeah. Who's gonna be able to out-rebound Kevin Love? If Kevin Love can hit 20 points, and Korver, if he can get off, I mean, you got three guys, Korver, Smith, and Love. Either one or all three get 15 points or better. I think the stats show that they usually win.
I also wanted to ask you, we're heading into Olympia Prep. You said you're going to be starting Olympia Prep pretty soon. So I wanted to ask you, who's going to finish second to you this year? Is it going to be Big Ramy again?
Yeah, it's kind of looking like that, to be quite honest. It's either him or William Bonac. But here's the problem. Over the past, 4 years, I've had Sean Roden, Dexter Jackson, and Big Ramy all play second. And so over the last 3 years. There has been not a deciding second place, not like back in the day where it was Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler back-to-back every year. No one has really solidified their place as the second best in the world. So, and even with that said, I throw in William Bonac because he's beaten all of the other guys. He's beaten Big Ramy toe-to-toe without me there. So I think I'm dealing with the four-headed monster, if you will. I don't know who's showing up, but hey, just bring in some more body bags for me. I'll put them in there.
I saw you posted a pic on your Instagram. It was a video where you were guest posing in Pittsburgh. And I saw that, and you said that you were going to be in your best shape ever come Olympia. Everything's on target for that? We're going to be the best Phil Heath of all time?
Absolutely. I think what was great was getting past number 5 to get number 6 to Ty Dorian Yates. You know who that is. And then last year, suffering through a double hernia and still being able to train as heavy as I did and as good as I did and still walk away with victory. Now with that all repaired, what people don't understand is when you have a double hernia of any kind and you have an intestinal strangulation, it's cutting off the blood supply to certain organs. So therefore, your body doesn't replenish the blood accordingly to where you can have volumization in the muscles. So I'm thinking, gosh, if I had this problem, which I did, and I was still round, the muscles were round and defined, with an added blood supply, you're going to volumize even greater, and especially training here in Denver, Colorado. So I have nothing else but excitement knowing that, wow, like I was able to win hurt. It's like Jordan with the flu game or something.
I was about to say that, actually.
Right. And saying, wow, if I can do that, what is preventing me to take my body to another level that no one's ever seen on me? So I still have to do the work. I can talk about it all day, but I'm really excited for the opportunity to tie, Lee Haney and Ronnie Coleman with 8 Mr. Olympias.
Phil, you've inspired me, man. I'm gonna get that 135 bench press today. I just know it. I know today's the day, man. I'm gonna hit it.
One thing I wanted to add even with that is that, when I talk about bodybuilding and health and fitness and stuff, although I'm the best in the world and blah, 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 it's not about telling people, hey, I want you to be the next Phil Heath. Because there's only been 13 Mr. Olympias. What I am saying is taking from my experiences, never saying quit, never saying die, never listening to naysayers, proving people wrong, and then also proving people right that care about you, that put time and energy into you, being educated, going to college, doing all these things, staring in front of the storm with a rain jacket and saying, bring it on. When you talk about 135, if that's what you can do, good for you. It's not like when people say, people see me in the gym, they're like, oh, I could never do that. I'm not asking you to do that. What is your goal? Your goal probably isn't to be Phil Heath. Your goal is to just be a better version of yourself each and every day. And I'm here to help you say, you can do this.
Dude, this is inspiring.
I want to go to the gym right now.
Yeah, seriously, thank you so much for coming with us today on the show. This is Ball or Nothing, brand new project. You're our first guest, and I think this is the absolute best way to kick off our Ball or Nothing guest appearances, which we hope to have more of.
Well, I appreciate that so much. Thank you for allowing me to be on here. Hopefully I wasn't too long-winded. I just have a lot to say, and I just want to help people. But, yeah, keep doing your guys' work. I'll be watching as well.
Wow. Man, Phil Heath.
The gift.
Coming through with a philosophy, with a basketball knowledge, taking it to school.
That man knows his basketball.
Yeah.
That man knows his basketball. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for in this episode of Ball or Nothing, presented to you by AAMI, but I'm pretty sure we'll be back for another episode.
Yeah, and you already know all the best playoff action is on ESPN, so stay tuned for that.
I'm Nick.
I'm Freddie. Hasta la vista, baby.
All I wanna do is ball. When I walk up in the mall,